John, thanks so much for hopping on this this busy week, John. Man, there's a lot going on this time of year, huh?
Well, Brian, happy Thanksgiving Eve, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your listeners. And I'm the filler between Don McPherson and Kyle McCord, so I'm the filler.
There you go. It's not a bad place to be, the Oreo in that sandwich, right, John?
No, absolutely.
All right, so we got Miami coming up here on Saturday, and, I've been talking about it all week. You got an 8-win Syracuse, 10-win Miami. It is, literally, this has only ever happened once in the Dome before with that many wins showing up on the field at the same time. It's a pretty unique offering you've got here this weekend.
Well, these are the games you want to play in. The end of your season games that are really, really meaningful, and obviously they are for both programs. And the first time since '92 we've had a regular season final matchup like this, and ironically that was Miami in the Dome as well back in 1992. So it's a great chance for our program, great opportunity. And I would really ask the community to come out and support Coach Fran and this team, because one of the things that could be a deciding factor in Saturday's game is just the environment in the Dome. And these are the games that our fans want and they deserve, and it's here. So I really hope the community, and I ask for the community to come out and support. And those that have been with us all season, very, very thankful for their support.
John, you mentioned '92, and I go back to that game, and obviously, it's one of the best games in Dome history, even though it was a loss to the top-ranked Canes at the time with Chris Gedney making it within a few yards of the end zone. I was not in the building at the time, but everyone I've talked to that was there say that when Dan Conley intercepted the pass in the second half of Gino Torretta, it's the loudest they have ever heard the Dome. It kind of tells you what advantage that can be for you in a matchup like this.
It can be a huge advantage, and we still have ticket packages and discounts that are available through midnight tomorrow night. You just go to Cuse.com, and you just click right on the ticket deals, and there's a variety. It's the Black Friday ticket deals. Click on that. It's right on the home page. And you can combo discount Miami Georgetown game. You can do a Wegmans. You buy a ticket for Miami, you get $10 off. A Wegmans when you're there. 2 tickets to the Yale women's basketball game Sunday at noon for free. So there's a variety of deals that are still out there for our fans, and we still got tickets left. And more than I'd like, but they've moved well over the past couple days, and I really hope that we have a sellout on Saturday, because I think it can make a big difference, and it'll show our program. It'll also show we have some really high-profile recruits on campus this weekend, and one of the things that they take note of is the environment of the team that's recruiting them.
That's a fact. And then, kind of like a last chance for closing, right? And you mentioned some tickets, 35% off tickets that are available still in the lower bowl, too. So if you want a really nice seat, you can get that for a little off. Signing day got moved up this year, John. This calendar keeps changing. Football signing day is a week from today. So, there are recruits there on Saturday that, I don't know, they might be verbal somewhere else or not. That depending on what happens Saturday, and, we know Fran's pretty good at this thing. We can know some new names by a week from today if things go right on Saturday.
Well, we can do that. You're 100% right, Brian. there's potential, of a flip here or there. We've also got some high-profile 26 recruits, and we are heavy into the recruiting of the 26 class as well. So it's a very, very important recruiting weekend, and for so many of our recruits, their high school seasons are over. So they're on campus now. We had a really good contingent for the UConn game as well. And again, they look at the environment. They want to know, hey, if I come to Syracuse, what's the environment going to be like? What's the fan support going to be like?
And obviously it's always better when it's fuller and louder. And when the team's winning, it helps too. I mean, here we are at the end of year one of Fran, 8-3. Is this more than what you could have hoped for in year one, John? What do you look back on now? It's been almost 12 months here since you first met this guy.
Yeah, good question. Good question, Brian. I can't. I'm not going to equate everything on wins and losses. Obviously, it's critically important. 8 wins with a chance for 9 is incredibly successful for a first-year head coach, right? But I think it's also beyond that. It's the culture that Coach Fran has instilled in the program, and he's had help from his staff. And he's had help from our leaders this year. we've had great leaders. Kyle, I know Kyle's on next. Kyle is a great leader, a great young man. He's represented this program and this community extremely well. Guys who came back, right? Marlo Wax, Justin Barron, LeQuint, Sanko, Arande, Fidel Diggs coming in. We've had great leaders, and you need that. You need really good leaders in the locker room, and that's how you build a culture. And Fran has set the tone for it, and the rest of the staff and our senior leadership amongst the players have helped instill that culture.
Obviously this year's been a lot of fun, John, but culture, foundation, whatever you want to call it. How have you noticed this year being a launching point to whatever you hope Fran to accomplish here during his time in the Qs?
Well, I just think the values that he has that go beyond football, and how genuine he is in expressing those, and every coach is going to say it, right? But he backs it up with actions, and it's very interesting because Fran's got some swag to him. There's no question about that. But he is old school in so many different ways, and I think it's that combination that he establishes really good relationships with his players. At the same time as he and the staff, they will challenge the players, and they need to be. We all need to be challenged, all of us. Whether you're a college football player or whether you're in your professional career, we all need to be challenged. And it's teaching these young men how to respond when they are challenged. And it will impact them not only here while they're at Syracuse, but well beyond their years after they graduate.
John Wildhack is our guest here on this Wednesday. We'll get to hoops here. We got the game coming up against Cornell tonight, also in the Dome. John, I got a couple of calls the last few days, and on postgame the other day, the Myron Victory Court opened up before last game. Had a couple people that at least popped through it and said they really enjoyed it. What was that experience like, getting that going for the first time?
Well, it was really good, and we're kind of kicking the tires on it. With UConn and Miami, and getting ideas in terms of what we can do, to make it better going forward. But the reaction from the fans, I walked through it about, I don't know, Brian, probably about 90 minutes before kickoff Saturday. Mm-hmm. Had a really good crowd in there. People were having a great time. So it'll open at 1:30. So you could do the quad walk at 1:15, right? The Auto quad walk at 1:15. And then go right into Myron Victory Court at 1:30. You can watch the early games because they'll be on the video board. So you got a bunch of screens in there. We've got a massive video board, but we got tons of other monitors as well. So they'll be on the 12 noon games, and a lot of those are critically important, and some of them will impact us in terms of where we go in the postseason. So I think it's a great gathering place. We have concessions there, grab and go. You can grab a beer or whatever. We got merch as well. So it's an area for our fans to come in and enjoy, and you walk right into the Dome. So it's a perfect environment, and it's a great indoor tailgate, and I hope our fans experience it and enjoy it on Saturday. That's what it's there for. It's for them to experience and to enjoy.
And it'll be certainly rocking for basketball as well, so something to keep in mind for as that comes up throughout the winter here. And, John, you mentioned there's going to be stuff happen Saturday that affects whatever Game 13 is going to be this season. Are you feeling good about our fans are worried about the potential game time temperature of the bowl game? Are you feeling good that it's going to be a warm one coming up in late December, early January?
My answer is going to be the same answer I've given the coaches and the players. The more wins, the better the climate.
That's a fact. That's a fact. You go in Saturday, the climate starts looking an awful lot Floridian.
It sure does, Brian. It sure does. I'm just saying.
We'll find that out. I guess it's the afternoon, a week from Sunday. We'll officially know. I kind of like that, though, John. There is the TV program. It's not it trickles out randomly. We at least know when we're going to know the answer now, which is a nice change of pace here. Year one college football playoffs, obviously this game Saturday has an effect on it with Miami. How have you noticed that, position of leadership, how the playoffs have just affected the general world of college football this year?
I think it's great for the sport, and I've been a massive proponent for expansion to 12. Candidly, I probably would have gone to 16 and just do it all at once. But I think it's great because it stimulates more interest in the game in so many games. I mean, when you look, just not this weekend, but last weekend and 2 weekends ago, the number of games that had playoff implications, significant number, every single weekend. If you're at 4, that diminishes dramatically. So I think it's been great for the popularity of the sport. I think it's been great for fans. The other thing I love about it is when you look at what it was for, Brian, you know what? There were 10 schools that probably occupied 75% of those 4 playoff berths over the 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
With 12, it opens it up for everybody.
Yeah.
So I love it for that reason as well.
Yeah, we're looking at Boise and Indiana, and who knows what this year. I mean, heck, at 4, the Syracuse-Miami game might not have an effect on it. At 12, it 100%.
No question. No question.
Has an effect on it here. You know, I want to ask you this, John, because this is coming down the pike. You still don't know the answer. In my mind, it's probably going to be the most difficult part of your job going forward here with this house settlement coming down and, you know, scholarships, money. How do you guys prepare for that where – like, you think you know what's about to happen, but you still aren't completely sure what's about to happen. How do you get ready for this event coming forward as soon as next year?
Well, we've been working on this for over 6 months, and we've got a small internal group that's been meeting every other week and doing a lot of scenario planning. And the one thing I'll tell our fan base is we will be competitive in terms of the revenue share. We want to win. We have great support from Chancellor Severud, from our board. You know, when you look at what we've done with the Dome, you know, the investments in the Dome, the enhancements in the Dome, the new football performance center, which I toured today, by the way, which is going to be phenomenal for everyone associated with the program and our Olympic sports as well. They're going to benefit from it. You know, that should signify to the fan base is that the university is committed to athletics in a big way.
Yeah, we've certainly seen the cranes and the bulldozers and the jackhammers and all the stuff going on there around the Manly area and for the last couple of years, and that the lots of new buildings and walls and
the Lally
yes,
complex.
the Lally complex with all this stuff going up over there. So it's going to be fantastic when it's finished, and you can go in there and get them in there. All right, John, basketball tonight. I'm sure you're headed over to the Dome this evening for Cuse and Cornell. What are you looking at here with the Red year 2 here? Obviously, a tough couple losses down in New York last week.
Yeah, we played better in New York, but we got to learn to win those games because those are 2 high-profile non-conference games, and those games matter when the committee meets in March. So we've got to win tonight. We got to win the games that we should win, and then we've got 3 other very attractive non-conference games. Georgetown, Tennessee, and Maryland, and we got to go get a couple of those. You've got to have. You just can't rely solely on your conference schedule. You need a couple quality non-conference wins, and we need to go get those.
That is a fact. That is what it always seems to come down to every year at the end of the season. All right, John, thanks as always for the time. Happy Thanksgiving to you and the family and everybody out there, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon, but thanks a lot.
Thanks, Brian. Happy Thanksgiving. Go Orange.
And there he is, John Wildhack. Again, tickets still available for Saturday, Cuse in Miami, cuse.com/tickets for more information. Black Friday deals. Black Friday's wild these days, isn't it? You don't have to. I've been accidentally Black Friday shopping all week.